Hello, everyone. So, today I want to quickly talk about going to different conferences, different events. If you're into IT, if you are doing any kind of work in this particular wonderful domain of information technology, if you are maybe developing software, or if you're into technology, or if you're doing some kind of, if you're working for a corporate or maybe a startup, and and of course I'm saying technology or IT companies, but this is also true for majority of like many companies these days, or many professionals these days, that uh, you may want to of course attend and go to various conferences. Now, I think there should be a balance of how much time you're willing to uh, devote to these events, conferences. If I talk about my personal preference, I hardly go to any conference. I hardly attend any event, and of course, I do attend. Like very, I mean, when I talk about, let us say, like I'm not talking about the COVID time. I'm talking about normal time when things were okay, or like for example, right now things are quite okay. I don't really think in this whole year I have attended more than one event. That is it. Or if I look at my past 6 months, I have attended one event, which is Atlassian event, which happened in London. I was initially supposed to go to Las Vegas for that particular event, uh, because that event for me, I believe the kind of work I do is definitely useful. Not really for the talks, to be honest. It's more about the networking. It's more about business development, because when you and of course if you talk about IT in general, majority of the work, business, or there is actually a lot of work in US, right? So for me, it makes sense if I have to grow my work, uh, get more customers, businesses, reach out to different businesses. So I have to be there physically, because there is no alternative to that. Unfortunately, I was not able to go there because I was not really able to uh, renew my passport on time. Although I got my passport, renewed passport, but it was just few weeks before the event date, and I thought, okay, let us not go this year. Apart from this event, which I attended in London, so they were doing a viewing party in London. That was only the evening, so I went there. I also did one workshop for a college, and one or two maybe, and I also spoke at one of the event. I also like did like one recorded event. Of course, I make daily videos on my channel, but I'm talking about like proper events. So I don't really think I did more than a couple of. Uh, I spent time on more than a couple of events, and that was also just my evening, right? And there are different conferences that are happening now. I totally get the idea of these conferences where you can probably just learn about things, talks for example, but I don't really think people go to these conferences to actually learn something, or to basically gain some knowledge, because these days learning can happen anywhere. You can of course do it online. You can attend a lot of webinars if you really have to from your home, although I don't really attend a lot of webinars as well. But talking about spending time, you might be tempted to go to different events. I know that there are some people who are always doing events, or they are taking part in these events, like definitely few events or couple of events every month. I don't really think, unless it is part of your job, unless you are into marketing, unless you're supposed to be in those events, if someone is paying you for doing that, or if you have like a clear direct benefit, I don't really think these events, or majority of these events, are really useful. I think if you look at yourself, the priorities that you have, the goals that you have. For me, I know that my time is valuable, and I know my, for example, day rate, how much potentially I can earn in one day. And I'm not really saying these events are useless. These events are definitely useful, but you have to pick. You have to basically decide where to go, which one. I mean, because if you, let us say, spend 2 days of your life, of your working life, on those events, are you getting back maybe 5 times more of those 2 days? Then of course definitely it is worth doing it. And usually when you attend these events, if you're also involved in, let us say, presenting or doing a talk, then that is also some additional work. So you might have to maybe spend time of days or maybe weeks well in advance to prepare for those things. So I think, because when you do these events, it's not really a fun thing, right? It is not like, okay, we are just going to a bar to have drinks with friends. That is, of course, like a personal life where you spend time with your friends. In that case, of course, you're not really trying to measure the because when you spend quality time with your friends or colleagues outside work, that is of course invaluable. So there is no um, there is no value, like a monetary value that you can put on it. But if you're attending those events, I think you should. I think you should be definitely careful about it. This is also equally true for those um, seminars, or I'm talking about those small events where people just uh, attend those events for networking. I understand the concept of networking because in the past I used to attend a lot of Drupal events, and also talking about Atlassian events. There are there is something called as Atlassian user group. Now it is called as Atlassian community events, which I normally try to attend. It happens every other month, and it happens in the evening, like after work. So it is, of course, and when I go to those events, of course, you meet people. You do a bit of networking, new people. I'm talking about new potential clients, or you just catch up with old colleagues. That is good, right? But if you overdo it, then I think it is a bit too much. Usually these days, there are a lot of companies doing these events on a regular basis, and I understand that they want to reach out to a lot of people. For example, I'm talking about, let us say, webinars, right? No, I don't really do webinars. I don't really think I don't really understand the. I mean, I've done a lot of webinars in the past when I used to work for other companies, and I might also do it for my own channel, for example. But I think the same thing can be achieved when you're doing videos like these, right? Because the whole idea of a webinar is that you talk about something for half an hour and then people ask you questions, right? Now that can also happen. It need not to be like live. For example, if you're watching my video and if you need to maybe reach out to me, if you have a question for me, then it is great that you spend time to, of course, first watch the video whenever you have time, whenever you can. So you're not really blocking your 1 hour on Friday evening, 4 o'clock. So you watch your video, watch my video, or I'm not talking about webinar. If you watch my video anytime, you can always reach out to me. So there is a contact me button on my website. You can also go to ravisagar.in/support, and you can send me questions. You can send me your whatever you're trying to do. And of course, I receive a lot of, fortunately, that is great actually. I receive a lot of questions, which is great. And I admit I don't really get to respond to all of those tickets that you raise for me, but at least I have a way to channelize those requests. And I think that is probably a better way to respond to questions. So you're consuming my content, whatever I'm trying to share, and I'm also able to help you properly. If we do a live webinar and you're asking me a question, and of course my videos are mostly technical, right? So in these cases, I think of like watching a video whenever you can, which you can find on my channel whenever you want, anytime you want, is perfectly fine. Now, going back to the concept of those events, imagine you're spending days every month attending those conferences, whether online or offline. Are you really getting anything out of it? That is something that you have to ask yourself. So the whole point of making this video is that I know some people, they overdo it. They're always attending some event, and they are my friends. I know them. I did ask them this question: what exactly are you trying to get out of those events? If there is no clear value, then why are you attending those events? And that is what I wanted to also ask you. What is the value? What is the outcome? What exactly are you trying to achieve? What exactly you're trying to solve? Are you trying to learn something? Are you trying to maybe make new friends, or maybe networking, or maybe are you trying to reach out to people, or maybe do business networking. So I think that agenda, that goal should be clear, because these events are not really, like one time pass activities. These are like professional activities, and you should be spending your time, your valuable time, wisely. And that is all. That is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye bye.